Wish I would have took a lot of stuff that the people told me serious. This is gonna be weird trying to record this, y'all. I'm gonna try to do my best to keep in this little shot. But I'm Robert Lahr. I know I spoke to a lot of y'all a couple weeks ago. My heart is to just help y'all understand more of who you are and who you're becoming. There's a couple ways we're gonna accomplish that. One of the ways is I want to help you develop a vision for yourself. Where do you want to be in the next year? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? So it may not seem like it, but you have control over that no matter where you started at, no matter what you're going through. Your circumstance don't define you. I know a lot of stuff I may say may sound very cliche. It may sound, you probably heard it before. But at me being at 38 years old, I wish a lot of the things I'm sharing with y'all I would have took serious, because I didn't take it serious. When you are young men like yourself, you tend to think that you got your whole life. You tend to think that you got limitless opportunities. One of the major mistakes I made is I seen a opportunity as, I took it for granted. When I had an opportunity to do something, when I had an opportunity, the gift that I have, whether you very intelligent, whether you are good at math, English, you're good on the court, all of your gifts and talents, they're easy to take serious, not serious, but they're easy to not take them serious because they come so easy to you. And because they come so easy to you, we can easily tend to get an opportunity. Somebody can work with you, for example. Somebody may be like, you know what, I want to pay for you to go through this program. And because you can't see how you can benefit from it, you don't really take it serious. Now, with me starting work here at Sheila High, working with Miss Jordan, I want to get to know y'all. I want to create a program that's specifically to help y'all to where y'all want to go. No matter what that is, no matter what you want to pursue. There's a couple of principles that you need. Some of these principles that you need, again, you heard them before. They're very, they say success is not, it's not a secret. I want to help you out with some of those principles. Again, these principles I learned late. One of them is discipline. That's something that you must have. Another one is emotional intelligence. You got to know how when you get angry to still acknowledge your anger, but respond in a way that serves you and your family. Today's culture teaches that you just quote unquote keep it real, whatever that means. I shared y'all my story, how I got fired from my last job. I got angry. And my anger was right. I had a right, 100% right to be angry, y'all. They wanted me to do something I deemed unethical. My anger was right. What I didn't know is that my manager was attempting to use my anger to get me fired because he didn't like me. I didn't know that. I was focused on what was in front of me. I didn't look at the bigger picture. I didn't know that somebody can use a character flaw against me. I wasn't even thinking like that. I'm bringing that up, fellas, is because you have to learn to use your emotions to serve you, or somebody else is going to use them against you. And here's another thing you got to learn that I want to work with y'all to try to help y'all work through this. You got to learn not to take everything personal, as a personal attack. I used to take everything personal. Oh, my manager, he was an insecure man. I thought he just didn't like me. Anybody who come up in that company, he's going to try to get him fired because he's insecure. He think he's going to lose his job. The point I'm making is I should have accurately assessed the situation, but I didn't. Why? Because I had a poor assessment of my emotions. When I got angry, I responded angry. When I was like the ocean. We all know what the ocean do. You put a heat element in it, it get hot. Take the heat away, it get cold. You will not go anywhere with that mentality. You can't allow outside circumstances to influence your thinking. And I know it sounds like that's next to impossible, but it can be done. When you're serious about where you want to go and who you're becoming. That book y'all looking at, Think Up to Get Up. It took me over 5 years to write that book. It took me 5 years because I knew nothing about writing. I didn't know how to write. I didn't really even care to write. It's just as I was studying my Bible, I just kept on getting this idea to write a book. I just started writing. I looked up one day and I had 100 pages. I wrote about 72,000 words for this book. In the book, it's only about 42,000 words. The point I'm making is, y'all, is there's a lot of things I had to let go, a lot of mentalities I had to let go in order to become an author. One of the things I had to let go is what I believe people thought about me. You gotta let that go, fellas. It's not your responsibility to care about what somebody else think about you. People gonna think what they want to. Tall, short, big, small. They like your hair, it's curly, it's straight. Where you came from, let me tell you something, fellas. People who allow outside circumstances to influence them on a consistent basis become fools. Let me tell you my definition of a fool. It's a person that is easily controlled by someone else. Let me tell you something. I share that situation about how I got fired because I want y'all to learn from it. If I would have known that my manager was strategically trying to use my anger against me, I probably wouldn't got as angry. I probably would have responded in a way that had me to come out on top in that situation. But I wasn't thinking like that. My manager had, I was 35 or so at the time. He was in his mid-50s. He had some years over me. He probably did that before. Here's the point I'm making, y'all. I can choose to be a victim and say I want to get even, or I'm never going to work for. I could have easily went down the road of staying angry. But what I did and what I had to do is, I never forget it, I got fired on that Thursday. The next day on Friday, I got my resume together, printed up 20 of them, and I went out to get another job. I currently work for a Lexus dealership. I sell cars. The job I had before, I was a service advisor. Service advisor just is the person who, when you come in, bring your car in, I'm the person who, hey, you need brakes, you want to buy brakes. That's what I was doing. Was doing that. Wanted to stay in the luxury because I was working for an Infiniti dealership. Wanted to stay in luxury. Went to a Lexus dealership. I only went to 3 jobs, y'all. I had 20 resumes. My goal was, since I work 8 to 10 hours a day, my goal was I'm going to spend 8 to 10 hours a day looking for work. That next day, I only went to 3 jobs, y'all. 3. I got hired at the one I actually wanted to work at, which is the Lexus dealership. The point I'm making, y'all, is if I would have stayed in anger, stayed in fear, stayed getting all ticked off about how I was treated, I never would have had enough vision and focus to see, you know what, let me see what the other opportunity is out there. Now, I don't know what opportunities are in front of y'all. And some of y'all may be thinking that there ain't no opportunities. I'm here to tell you that you have way more opportunities in front of you than any young man has had in history. One of the things that I'm going to implement is I'm going to be teaching y'all skills if you want to learn them. Skills that you can use no matter where you go. College, you want to get in the trade. A couple of skills that you got to have. One of them is, again, you got to learn how to communicate. This is something, y'all, that I did not think was important. You got to know how to communicate. My definition of communication is transferring your ideas into the mind of others. The people who do that, those are the people who can create wealth for their family. It don't matter what you do. You got to learn how to communicate. It's very important. One of the things that I really value about this book is it taught me how to communicate. It taught me how to take an idea and to break it down so somebody else can understand it. I can take this idea and apply it to anything. So I'm going to be working with y'all. I'm going to have a questionnaire, not today, but when I come next week, because I want to know, like, where do y'all want to be next year? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And I just want to help you do that, no matter what it is. I'm just here as a mentor. I'm not here to tell you right or wrong. Y'all know right and wrong. I'm here to push you into who you can become. And I want to help you develop a healthy relationship with a word that I used to dislike, which is success. I didn't like that word because I wasn't much successful. I grew up, ain't have much. A lot of people ain't buy my book. A lot of people ain't support who I thought was supposed to support. Man, listen. Changing your relationship with certain ideas and principles will help you. And like I say, success. I want to help y'all become successful in your own right. And it starts, of course, with getting the education. Now, again, y'all already know that education is important. Again, a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with y'all, I wish I was wise enough to, as I learned them at y'all age, I would have acted on, because I was in a mentoring program. Y'all probably never heard of it. I was in a mentor program. I think it's called 500 Role Models. Same thing what I'm doing. That's why I was inspired to do this. It's like, you know, guys came, took us to colleges and stuff. I just seen it as a way to get out of class. I ain't really was taking it serious. Now, I'm 2 years away from 40 years old. I got a wife and family. A wife and I, we got 4 kids. I got to take care of my family. Many of y'all got a family. Many of y'all may be in situations to where you feel like you by yourself, you on your own. You got more support than y'all think. And it don't always got to be blood. I'm here and I'm volunteering my time to help y'all because I needed help when I was y'all age. So everything I'm sharing with y'all is just things that I wish I would have known or took serious at y'all age. I'm not standing here like I got it all together. I'm not standing here as if I'm on some type of mountain and I'm looking down at y'all. We equals. And in many ways, we alike, because I know some of you feel like the world is against you. I used to think that same thing. But the harsh truth I had to learn was I was really against myself. And I had a lot of people who wanted to help me. I couldn't see that they wanted to help me because I was so fixated on, oh, if you're not helping me in the way I want to be helped, it's not help. So the type of help I always wanted was some money, a handout, help me do this. I wanted a car. So fellas, I appreciate y'all taking the time. I'm going to be working with y'all. But any questions do y'all have? Y'all got any questions? Any thoughts, concerns? No questions? So you mind, I just want to just pick out a couple, y'all. Anybody got an idea or a vision of where you want to be this time next year, 2024, April 2024? I want to be this place. What is that, young man? You right there.
I want to be a businessman.
Businessman. Okay. What type of business you want to get into?
Clothing.
Clothing. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. What about you?
1 year from now, I want to be preaching the word of God.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Okay. Anybody else? Nobody else? That's one of the first things I want to help y'all with is a vision, fellas. Again, this is something else that I didn't think was important. I didn't think a vision was important. My mindset was I wake up, I'm just whatever comes, whatever happens, happens. Y'all, that's the worst way to live. And I'm telling you, if you keep that mentality, you will grow more and more depressed. Because it's a depressing existence when you wake up and it's like, okay, I'm just going to do this. You have an opportunity to be whatever you want. In spite of people not being for you. In spite of the color of your skin. In spite of you're not from here. These are all things that I thought was a mark against me. Some of y'all may learn, I learned it too late, is some of the things that you think is against you, man, may be the very thing to propel you forward at a faster pace. I don't know none of y'all. I don't know what y'all been through. But I know if y'all are here and you develop discipline, faith, and courage to confront your fears, you can do anything you want. But let me tell you something, guys. It's on a daily basis. Every day you got to make that decision. One of the things that I do every day, y'all, got my backpack here. The things that I do, that I started doing maybe two years or so ago, is every day I write down my goals, my vision for myself. This notebook is from, I think, 2021. I think it's from 2021. Sometimes I put the date, sometimes I don't. Let me try to find a page that got the date on it. I know one of these pages got the date. Sometimes I put the date. Wasn't planning on doing this. Alright. Like a lot of these pages don't got the date on it. I put the month and the day on here, but not the date. So in this notepad, I got all of my ideas, my book ideas, my mentoring program ideas, my business ideas. Another thing I do, guys, is I help people write books. And if any of y'all are interested in writing a book, I can help you with that. You can be an author before you. If some of y'all, anybody, 18? Y'all 18? Okay. So I was about to say you can be an author before you turn 18. So can't say that. But I became an author. I was 37. One of the best things you can do is be an author and write a book. Not just to be an author, but for what becoming an author will teach you about how to communicate, how to market, and it'll teach you a lot about yourself. So I started helping people write books because as I marketed my book, I had a lot of people saying, hey, I want to write a book, but I'm too fearful or I don't know what to say. So I found myself always giving the writing ideas. Like 2 years ago, it turned into me creating I got a strategy called the PSP method. I actually got a course on it. In this course, it teaches how to pull the content out of you, meaning that you want to write a nonfiction book or a memoir about yourself. It's a outline method teaching people how to pull that content out of you. So I started doing that, didn't even know I had the gift to do that, but it all came from me being an author. One thing about learning how to write and communicate is you're really able to really understand yourself more. So as I became an author, fellas, it's like, honestly, I didn't even know I could write. This is my first book. It's pretty good. Like, I shocked myself with this book. If you read some of the stuff in this, not because it's good in the sense of, I mean it's good as it relates to the content in it. Some of these principles in this book, let me just read one. Let me just get this right here. Some of these principles in this book took me years to learn. And they sound so simple. But boy, one of the quotes I got in my book, your faith brings you to opportunities that your disciplines will allow you to embrace. Your faith brings you to opportunities that your disciplines will only allow you to embrace. I came up with that quote. It took me about 2 weeks because I never forget it. I only had the first part of that quote, which is, your faith brings you to opportunities, which I knew was true. We all got faith. We all believe in something. We all believe that I can do this. I can get up. I can score. We all have faith in something, just representing that something that you know you can do, but you can't necessarily see. When you get an opportunity, it's easy to assume that just because you got faith in your ability, faith that you can accomplish something, that it's going to get done. What I learned is that's not true. You got to attach discipline with your faith. And if you don't attach discipline with your faith, it ain't going to happen. I learned that the hard way. For example, I thought my book was just going to sell just because I wrote it. Found out that you got to know how to market. That's totally different from being an author. Didn't know that. All I'm saying is, fellas, is as you commit to who you're becoming, each day is going to be a new chance to grow and evolve. You just got to be committed to who you can become. No matter what it is. You said you want to be a businessman. Choose, man. I'm going to share this and I'm going to close with this. Focus on the goals that will change your life if you hit them. Young man, you said you wanted to preach. It's a great goal. Focus on that. As you focus on that, ask yourself every day, guys, okay, this is my goal. Write it down. Then underneath that, write down, what do I have to do today to accomplish this vision? That's a question. Just ask yourself. Don't assume you know the answer. Just every day. I got a little marker board I write down. Write that question down. What do I got to do today for that to happen? What do I got to do today? Today. It doesn't matter how big your vision is if you're not going to do anything today to get to it. It becomes just a dream. And what I found out, guys, is a lot of people I know in their 50s and 60s that they thought time was going to cause them to accomplish their goals. And they get 60, 70 years old and opportunity passed them by. And those are the people, unfortunately, are bitter. Those are the people who be trolling on the internet. Always got something to say. You do a video about what you're trying to do. You're going to have somebody saying, oh man, you too skinny to do that. It's sad that people got time to tear down other people. That's why you got to be mentally tough. Because everybody ain't going to be for you. Let me tell you another secret. You don't need everybody to be for you. Make sure you're for yourself. And when you're for yourself, you're going to find the people who are for you. You're going to find great people who are going to support you and lift you up. And they ain't gonna always know you. They ain't always going to agree with you. But they're going to have enough character and enough life experience to help accelerate you. That's why I'm here now, fellas. I don't know none of y'all. Just told y'all I got a wife and 4 kids. I'm here because I genuinely love y'all and want y'all to get to your next level, no matter what that is. When I had people in front of me to help me do the same thing, I neglected it because I was like, I'm young. Let me just play around and do whatever I want to do for the next 5, 10 years. That was the dumbest decision I ever made. Wasted a lot of time. Wasted a lot of time. I've been wanting to start this mentoring program, fellas, for about 3 or 4 years. Didn't know how I was going to start it. Y'all are actually my first class. But it was in my heart. And it's something that I knew I wanted to do because I knew God had given me the ability to do it. I had to overcome my fear of what people gonna think. I don't got enough money. My curriculum ain't together. I got a wife and 4 kids. Man, I got a lot of excuses, y'all, that I could easily tell myself to not carry out that vision. But there's one principle that I learned that really helps me, which is take the next step. You only need to know enough to take the next step. Don't worry about step 5, 10, 14. There may be 2,800 steps for you to start your business. There may be 3,500 steps for you to start preaching. Who knows? You only need to take the next step. That's it. I've been working on this mentoring program, fellas, for 2 years, a little over 2 years. I forgot. I think it's been 2 years. Reaching out to schools, volunteering at schools. Stuff ain't always work out. Come over here to Sheila High and it works out. So I'm very grateful. But the reason I'm grateful is because I see what I'm doing to serve y'all and help y'all as an opportunity. I had to force myself to start seeing things in life as opportunities. You got an opportunity to become the highest expression of who God is calling you to be. You may not do it. There's some people homeless. When I go jogging downtown, I pass by a lot of homeless people. It's like, man, I'm not no better than them. It's just the opportunity that they had. For whatever reason, they passed them by, whatever they did. We all got opportunities, fellas. You got to develop the mentality to take full advantage of every opportunity in your life. Unapologetically. Let me tell you what that word means. It means it doesn't matter what people think about it. Because somebody ain't going to like that you're taking advantage of an opportunity. Because only you got that opportunity. Somebody ain't gonna like it. Who cares? There's another thing too. Don't explain yourself all the time. I care so much about being misunderstood. I want people to know. Man, listen. As you are striving, growing, maturing, breaking free from your fears, insecurities, there's always gonna be somebody on the lower level that's going to be there to, well, who do you think you are? What, you better than us? Oh, now you want to read? Oh, you always go, those people always going to exist, guys. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. The easiest way to know the friends who are for you, just tell them you're trying to stop doing something. Hey, man, I'm trying to stop going out. I'm trying to stop smoking. See how they respond to that. Do they light up right in front of you when you told them they're trying to stop smoking? If they do, they ain't your friend. I don't care if they blood. They're not for you. Some of the guys who supposedly were my friends serving life in prison. And I hung out with these guys every day. I could have got at least 10 years just by being around them. But by the grace of God, I'm here. I used to smoke weed every day at my friend at his trap house. And I only went over there to smoke because I was broke. And he had weed and it was free. One day, police kicked his door in. I wasn't there. I may not know this, but there's a law that if you get a door kicked in, there's drugs in the house, they put the drugs on everybody in the house, not just on the person on the lease. He had a lot of drugs in the house. Just because I was over there trying to play PlayStation and smoke weed, I could have got a lot of time. Point I'm making is if you change nothing but your friends, you are way more closer than to being successful, guys. You gotta learn the skill of spotting the people who are for you. And believe me, it ain't hard. It's just sometimes it is heartbreaking that you gotta let go. One of my friends I had to let go of, I've known him since middle school. And I had to let him know, man, I can't hang with you no more. Because all we did was drink and get high, go to the club. I wanted something better for my life. And because he was really my friend, he understood. It ain't take it personal. He understood like, yeah, man, we can't hang out no more. It was no problem. Because even though he wasn't going down the same path I was going, he could clearly see since you changed your past, changed your mind, we still cool. We don't talk that much. I think he in prison right now. The point I'm making is, guys, is the people you hang around is very important. That's one of the things that, again, I didn't think was a big deal. Didn't think it was a big deal. I'm just having fun. I'm young. I got plenty of time to figure my life out. All the stupid stuff I told myself, wasting a lot of time. Told y'all about the story about my god brother who's serving life in prison because he had a rage, an anger problem, turned into rage, and he ended up shooting the girl who had nothing to do with the situation. He was only about 25 when that happened. He's about 36 now, 37. Still in there. So with that being said, guys, I just want to share this with you. I just want to show y'all with this. I just write down my ideas, I write down my vision. This is, look at this truck pass by. This is, oh, here it goes, 12/26/2021. So this is from 2 years ago. I keep it with me, guys, because I got a lot of ideas in here. Like this program that I'm doing, it was one of my ideas I wrote down. You gotta develop the habit of valuing your ideas. I didn't really value my ideas because I thought they wasn't all that important. I got the idea to write this book. It was just an idea. I thought of it. The thesis of the book is you can overcome any circumstance as long as you're thinking as above the circumstance. It was just an idea. Then the idea turned into an outline, turned into a chapter. And this book may not sell a lot of copies, but this is always going to be the book I'm most proud of because this represents me overcoming my fear. Because I was so concerned that, because the book is dealing with psychology. I ain't no psychologist. So I was concerned that psychologists was going to get together and be like, who is this guy? And all this other stuff. Man, none of that ain't happened. Our book is on Amazon. Right now I got like 19 5-stars. Getting good ratings. That's pretty cool. It's a real good feeling when you put your ideas out there and people appreciate them. Everybody ain't going to appreciate them now. But again, like I said before, you don't need everybody to appreciate you. You only need 1 or 2 people, y'all. I'm telling you. And if some of y'all, if you already got one person you know in your corner, I'm telling you. That's all you need to build on, y'all. That's all you need. You don't need 10 people. You know, 20 people. Listen, it's you don't need a lot of people. You first believe in yourself. That's most pivotal. Believing in yourself. Believe you can graduate. You can start that business. You can preach the word of God. Just from that belief, you are going to start to act. That's why it's important to get a vision. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to work with y'all on your vision, trying to help you decipher, like, what do you want to be in the next year? What do you want to be in 5 years? Because I can tell you, if you have no vision for yourself, there's always going to be somebody who's going to try to give you a vision. And a lot of times, the people who try to give you a vision, a lot of times, it ain't always in your best interest. Just like my manager who wanted me fired. He had a vision for me. His vision was better than mine because he used the knowledge that he known to beat me. And he did. And he did it because I was ignorant. The scripture that says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. I didn't know that's what he was doing. But now, looking back at it, and also doing some research, it's actually a common practice of the strategy he used. It's very common. Get somebody to blow up and then use their emotional reaction and try to attack that person because it makes you look bad. That's very common to manipulative people. I didn't know that because I'm not a manipulator. So what I learned is, listen, I ain't no manipulator, but I need to learn how to protect myself so that excuse me, so that won't happen again. So that's all I want to share, guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time. Does anybody got anything to share? Any questions, anything you got?